birds are increasingly popular pets, but many are bought in the mistaken belief that they're low maintenance. Not so. In fact, even with professional handling, things can go wrong, as a barn owl discovered to its cost when it escaped this week at Colchester Zoo and sought sanctuary in the lion's den. Here with the do's and don'ts for you at home, so you can have a happy time with your birds. TV vet, Steve Leonard. Now, it is, people think, oh, a couple of budgies in a cage in a corner, a bit of cuttlefish, a bit of seeds and water. Job done. Yeah, it's a classic scenario, and it's such a traditional pet, and a lot of people, you know, get this completely wrong. And I'm glad you said a couple, because quite often we see very sad, lonely, single birds, and actually they're very social and they need that social interaction. Birds flock, don't they? They do flock. They don't live on their own. No, they don't. And a little mirror is not going to be up to the task. A mirror and a bell. I know. Well, Ben and Chris are joining us from Birdworld near Farnham in Surrey. With Ben, you've got this monster bird here, the lovely blue macaw. A good pet?
Not particularly, no. They don't make good pets, just because they are a lot of high maintenance.
Yeah, they live a long time. Do you know how long the macaws live?
Yeah, they will average about 70 or 80 years.
Big commitment. That is, it's not just for Christmas, it's for more than your life, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And for the whole of this life, they are very intelligent. They're actually about as intelligent as a 3-year-old child.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyone that can look after a 3-year-old child for that long.
For 70 years?
Yeah.
Is going to go nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
They're also going to bond very much with one person. We couldn't hold this macaw at all. Zingu, because, you know, Ben is, you know, Zingu's favourite person. So it looks absolutely brilliant. You can see the appeal, you know, the whole sort of do the pirate impersonation, but it's not appropriate.
So you've got to live for 70 or 80 years, Ben. That's
basically,
In here we've got a little pair of lovebirds. Are they any better? I mean, they're right at the back of the cage because they're a bit delicate, aren't they?
Yeah, but they are. If you're going to get a parrot, get one of these. They're smaller. They're easier to look after. They're not as a big, high maintenance, large bird. And obviously you'll be able to get an aviary or a cage that's large enough for.
So the rule of thumb seems to be, Steve, the bigger the cage, the better, and the more birds you can have, the better in that space, because of the company.
Absolutely, yeah. And traditionally, this goes also with things like these other little cage birds here. The more traditional ones, like the budgerigars. Now, these are not wild birds anymore. These have been domesticated. Most of the parrots are exactly the same as they are in the wild. So they're no tamer. They're no easier to hand rear and this sort of thing, whereas at least the budgerigars have been through some breeding to keep them, or to make them a little more docile and easily handleable.
What about hardiness with budgerigars? I mean, I've seen outdoor aviaries, Ben. I mean, can you have budgies outside?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You can keep them outside as long as they're used to it and habituated to that. You can't keep bringing them inside and outside.
So you've got to be hardened off, just like bedding plants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
really, gardener's analogy.
Yeah, if we bring budgies in that have been pets indoors, then we have to introduce them to the cold weather slowly.
And start them out there in summer, and it gradually gets good. What about the finches next door?
Yeah, the finches, they're quite a hardy species as well.
Yeah.
A bit shyer than the lovebirds and the budgies. A bit quieter as well, so they would make a good pet for someone that, you know, likes the nice little fantastic chirping.
They fit about quite attractive.
Yeah, they're very
energetic. The sound of budgies in an aviary, I love it.
Absolutely, and fresh air is really good for them.
Yeah.
And even rain. Rain is good for feathers. Feathers really do dry out. Parrots and indoor birds don't like to be too dry, and in fact that's one of the major problems with them, with boredom and skin disease. They'll pull their own feathers out.
Oh, bless. Well, this, I would say chap, but it's a girl, this, Chris, isn't it? A girl called Freddie. So how old's Freddie and what is she?
This is Yellow-necked Amazon. She's 46 years old now.
Gosh, 46? Does she fly much now?
No, she's a bit old, so she tends to stick around and climb around on the perch rather than exercise.
Freddie, I stopped flying when I got to 46. So she got a long life, rather like ahead of her still.
Yeah, very much the same. It will probably be about 60, 70 years with this one.
It's that kind of commitment. You know, you can't guarantee to do that, can you, really?
No, and again, the oldest recorded, Ben was telling me, is a macaw.
106 years old. It's been the oldest macaw.
Yeah. Well, let's look at what you need then to look after them. We've mentioned that these are tiny cages. They're not big enough, really.
Not really. If you know, this is really too small for budgerigars because they need to be able to flap and move their wings. Absolutely stretch, fly. They could hop from perch to perch here, but it's not ideal. Maybe a couple of little finches in here, but again, bigger the better. You want to see, if you've got a bird, you want to see them fly. So build them a big aviary.
And things, you know, we've got, as you said, a classic mirror and bell.
Yeah, very traditional. These perches, get them out straight away. You know, the real sort of plastic ones.
Or the bit of dowel.
Or the bit of dowel. They're too uniform, and actually birds need something like this stick here. That'd be great for a parrot, or, you know, any fresh wood that is untreated, say unfruited tree, fruit tree branches.
So your prunings from the apple tree.
Absolutely, that sort of thing. Hazel, willow. That's they're knobbly, so they move their feet around.
So it flexes their joints, whereas if they're on one like that, it's the same the whole time.
Yeah, and they pick away at it and nibble. And toys, they need a lot of stimulation to birds, but a lot of company as well. So train them, get them used to stepping up onto your finger.
How important is cuttlefish? I mean, you can find it on beaches in Britain for their beaks and sharpening them. And
absolutely, and there's also calcium. Birds have a real, you know, essential requirement for calcium, and a lot of the other food is low in calcium. And diet is a real contentious issue. There's lots of different things that you can supply your birds with, and you have to make sure it's right for that particular species.
So good food, fresh water, plenty of interest.
Absolutely.
What about vets?
Vets, that's a real interest. I'm not an avian specialist at all. I'll do the odd sort of toenail clipping and this sort of thing, but actually this is something to think about prior to getting the pet. You need to find where your nearest bird vet specialist is, and it might be quite a drive away.
Right, so do that. Do your homework first. Make the cage big, get more than one bird if you must do them, and look after them really well. Then you can enjoy them, if not for 106 years, Ben and Chris, then certainly for a good few. Details of all the birds feature can be found on my website, itv.com/Alan Titchmarsh. My thanks to vet Steve Lennon, down to Ben Hart and Chris John. Thank you very much for this. Steve Lennon, Services 18 show.